Hey there, what's going on? Griffin Gaming RPG here. It's been a little while since we've had a chance to do a stream, and we're back today to do another Star Citizen 101. One of the last times I was here was either the last time or time before. We did a tour of the MISC Starfarer, and today we're going to be doing a tour of a sister ship to it that a lot of people have been really excited about. Seems like folks have this has drawn a lot of people's attention, and that's going to be the MISC Starfarer Gemini. This is the military variant of the Starfarer, and right now I kind of got it a little hidden there. There's a little mystery piece there, but we are going to go down and take a look at it. Okay. There's been a lot of buzz about both these ships because with the launch of 2.4, which is on the PTU right now, many of the backers who are subscribers to Star Citizen have had the opportunity to go onto the PTU and test it out. And so there it is in all its glory, the MISC Starfarer Gemini. Once again, this is the military variant. Very cool. Like I said, it's a sister ship. Gotta love the military paint job. It even has UEE, United Earth Empire markings on it, and has some stamp numbers and things like that. A lot of detail, again, if you remember in the Starfarer, and we'll be showing some clips of the Starfarer. If you remember on the Starfarer, it's all chrome look to it. There's no color variation in it, but this ship here has a definitely a military look to it. There are some differences in this ship. Most of them are pretty minor, but there are a few major differences in it. And most people who got this ship got it because they feel that they're going to be taking this ship into combat situations where the normal Starfarer would be used in, I guess you would say, civil space, in UEE space, where this type of ship, which has a bit more armament and some other variables to it, would be better to be used in a combat situation if you're taking your fleet out to battle or something along those lines. So anyway, we're going to be doing a quick tour. The ships are very similar internally. There are some minor differences, but in general, most of this tour will be about the externals of the ship. So hopefully what I'm going to try to do is do some variation in videos so that you can see the difference between these two ships. Once again, this is massive. It's in one of the larger hangars, the Revel in York hangar, which is the only hangar that's able to accommodate this particular ship. This is the largest of the ships so far that have been released through Star Citizen, and this ship in particular is expected to be seen in Squadron 42 upon its release. Like I said, a lot of people have been looking forward to seeing this ship. The Starfarer was kind of like the taste of what this would look like, and it seems that most people who've purchased the ship are pretty happy with it. I happen to have access to it because I own a Starfarer, and so if you own a Starfarer right now, because of the testing on the PTU, you can bring up either a Starfarer or a Gemini. So even though I don't own a Gemini, maybe I'll update to one. I've got a Starfarer sitting in my back pledges folder, so maybe who knows, maybe I'll decide to get one, or maybe I'll just work toward one. But let's talk about what some of the differences are. So one of the things I want to do is get a real solid front view of this spacecraft, and you can see it is huge. There are some differences. If you notice in the very front of this ship, there are approximately 9, looks like missiles that are armed right in the front of the ship, along with the 2 S5 guns that are to the left and right, port and starboard of the ship. And hopefully what I'm going to be able to do is bring up some video for you so that you can see what the difference is between that ship and let's see what the Starfarer looks like. So let's see if we can get that to come up. There you go. So you can see on the Starfarer in the front, there's actually a grate or a grill. And that grate grill is used as an intake, as far as we can tell, an intake for bringing in hydrogen gas so that the ship can process hydrogen into fuel. So this ship has the capability of doing processing. Now, interestingly, I haven't seen anything in relation to the Gemini as to whether or not it has that same capability. Maybe it does. I'm not sure. I really don't remember seeing anything about it being able to process, but it does have refineries on it, which tells me that it can do processing. Okay, let's take a look on from this side. By the way, this is Griffin Gaming. Thanks for stopping by. I see you've got a visitor. Glad you're able to stop by this afternoon and take a look with me at the Starfarer Gemini. Here's another view. Again, you can see a better shot of the S5 cannons that are mounted on the side. Also notice the intakes on the ship. These intakes seem to be guarded a little bit better than they are on the normal Starfarer, and probably for combat reasons. At least that's what I would think would be the reasons why there'd be some differences. So let's take a look here again at the old Starfarer and see if we can see any differences. It looks pretty almost the same. The intakes look about the same. Maybe it's just because it has the military look to it. I don't know. But let's continue on around here. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see. Alright, bear with me here. I'm doing a little screen changing. Alright. And again, you can see the size of the ship. I'm going to walk up to it so you can see just how massive this ship is. And let me go to a third-person view there, and you can see this ship is huge in relation to my avatar. Pretty big size. Okay. Alright, back to first-person view. And here's one more view that we can take a look of the ship. Okay. And again, we'll do a comparison here with how the old Starfarer looks. Let's see if this is the right angle. Hopefully it's close to the right angle. Close enough. Okay, there's our Starfarer. Again, Starfarer is laid out in chrome. The Gemini has the definite military paint job to it. So we can definitely see what the differences are again there. Okay, let's go back. Hopefully did I click the right thing? Hopefully I got the right thing there. There we go. Alright, whoops. Running into cargo. Let's go to this side over here. And see if I can find the right spot to stand here for this one. Alright. This gives us a good side view of the ship. There are some differences between these ships, as I mentioned earlier, and I'll try to share what some of those differences are. The length on the Gemini is 90 meters, as the Starfarer is 100 meters. The beam is 50 meters versus 45 with the Starfarer. The height is 20 meters versus the Starfarer, which is 24 meters. And the weight, they both weigh the same amount, 350,000 kilograms. Now, you know, again, understand that because the game is in development, these numbers could change. The ships look virtually identical, and I couldn't tell you if this ship is 10 meters longer than the Starfarer. But again, they mentioned that on the website that those numbers can vary, and so, you know, right now we have to take them for a grain of salt. But I think what they want to show is that there are some differences in these ships. So let's see if we take a look at the Starfarer here. There we go. Okay. I did notice, or at least it seemed like, that the tanks, the fuel tanks on the Starfarer seem to be just a little bit larger than the ones on the Gemini. I could be wrong about that. Just might be a matter of perspective, but it does seem as if there is a difference in that area. As you can see, those tanks look to be a little bit smaller. But again, that may not be the case. Let's go ahead and take another look here from the back. And again, this is the Revel in York hangar. It's the only hangar that's able to accommodate the Starfarer and the Gemini because of their size. Here's another angle that we can see here. And let's see if we can compare that to the old Starfarer here. Let's take a look here. Okay, boom, okay. There's the Starfarer. Alright, and then we'll do one more, take another quick look just to see if we can see some variation in size. A little bit more specs on the ship. Both ships have a maximum crew of 7. Their power plants are different though for both these ships. The Gemini, because it is a military variant, has a bit more power. I also noticed that the engines seem to be designed just a little bit differently. I'm trying to remember here. I think this is a power plant 7 for the Gemini, and for the Starfarer, the power plant is a 6. Here's again another view from the back of the ship, And then we will also take a look at what the Starfarer looks like. And notice that the engines are going to look a little bit different here. Let's see. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Let's go to this one here. Sorry about that. There we go. And you can see the coils and the difference seem to be different. Also, the nacelles seem to be designed a little bit differently as well. Let's see what else is different on these ships. The maximum shield is also different on the Gemini. The maximum shield on the Gemini is a 4, but the maximum shield on the Starfarer, the silver one, is a 2. So there's definitely a difference there. As far as weapons go, they both have 3 turrets. You can see one there, one there. There's also one top center on both ships. And the specs are the same on the turret guns as well as the 2 main front guns, which are S5s. So we're going to very quickly go on board. As I mentioned to you, most of the differences seem to be external, beyond what I mentioned to you about the tanks. Again, you can see that this has a military green, where on the Starfarer the ramp is chrome. In fact, most of the ship is chrome throughout. Okay. This is the cargo area, and supposedly the cargo is also a bit different. On the Gemini, the cargo size is 2,488 units, I guess. 2,488, as with the Starfarer. The Starfarer is 3,321 units, so it's supposedly able to carry more. In some ways, this does look a little smaller, but again, it would be so hard to tell. You know, the difference in that 500 units or whatever the amount is, almost 900 units, I'm sorry. But supposedly the cargo hold is supposed to be a bit smaller. There are some differences in themes throughout the ship as well. And they've added some new features too, by the way. Before, when you went through the Starfarer, these doors, as you approached them, opened automatically. These doors that are now airtight now have to be opened manually. So here we go, we hit F, and notice in here there's a green theme, which is the military theme. Carries around the rim of these doors here, which will hold environmental suits or space suits for anybody who wants to go in and out of this access port, which is right there. Okay, these are also units for bringing in and taking out air for compression in these decompression in this room. And again, this is an airtight door now, so you have to open it manually. It doesn't just open up when you walk up to it, which is good. You would want somebody to just walk in on you while you were going EVAing outside the ship. I'm going to close this door. And again, you'll see this has the military variant, the color of green. And again, thanks for stopping by. If you're hanging out with me this morning, just doing a quick tour of the Gemini. And you can see it still has jump seats on both sides. And we're going to go upstairs, take a look. There's also a difference in color here. This has an orange tinge in the Starfarer. Here we're continuing with the military colors, like a military green or yellow. Again, these doors now, instead of opening when you walk up and approach them, they have to be opened once you're going into an area where decompression takes place. And, well, we'll go ahead and look at this first before we go upstairs. Again, same thing with this door. Before you used to just walk up to it and it would open. Now you have to manually open it. This brings you out onto the catwalk. And for those of you who've seen the Starfarer, you know that there are elevators on both sides here, on port and starboard sides of the ship, that bring you up to the 3rd level. There is a glitch in here right now that if I walk down too far, I will actually walk through the catwalk. I don't think they fixed it yet. I know I reported it as a bug, but once you get past this mat here and walk on that grating, you will drop through to the bottom of the ship, and I don't want to do that right now. But you can see that the fuel tanks are here, 1, 2, 3, and of course the 2 refinery tanks, refinery 2 and refinery 1. You can see the numbers on them right there on the bottom. Okay. Alrighty. A lot of detail here. It's always amazing. If you look at even the flooring, you can see that the MISC logo is stamped into these rubber mats. I'm assuming they're rubber or something along that line. Alright, let's go back into the compression area here. And let's continue around, see if we see any other differences. Let's see again. The green theme carries in here for the military variant. Same thing here with the painting and the detail there. Okay, making our way into one of the first escape pod areas. There are 6 escape pods in this area. Again, the ship crews 7 maximum. Of course, you can carry more than that, but there are actually, I think there are about 7. There's 6 escape pods here, and I think there are 4 up above, so there are 10 escape pods. But the crewing is probably based upon the different positions that can be done on the ship. There are 5 here in the front. There's 1 in engineering. Oh, I'm sorry, there are 2 turrets in the back, and then there's a top turret, and then there's an engineering section, and then there's going to be those who operate the fueling area, which I'm assuming will be done can be done remotely, maybe from in here at one of these stations, or from out back on the catwalk. Don't know yet. We haven't seen enough information on that. Mind your head. But you can see there's ventilation panels. There's a lot of details in here. And here is the captain's chair, which previously did not work. But yes, the captain's chair now works. You can sit down in it, and you can tell your friends and be a boss all you want and tell them what to do if you want to. Right now, the command for F is usually what we would use to get in and out, activate or deactivate. Now you actually have to hold down Alt and F instead of Control and F, which it was previously, to get up. Here again, here's the seats for the pilots. Pilot and co-pilot seat. Okay. And again, I'm going to hold down Alt and hit F, and that gets us out of the seat. Hopefully nothing will glitch. Okay, so that's this area here. Again, there's 2 more positions here. There's a position 1 and 2. Again, these haven't been designated exactly what they are, whether they'll be something holographic up in this upper area. I'm not really sure just yet, but we'll find out in time. Alright, let's continue on. Again, here are our escape pods. 3 on this side and 3 on that side. And we're going to continue up to deck 3. After a while, you get kind of used to running around this thing. This is deck number 3, and you can see there are a lot of access panels throughout the ship. We've been told that many of these access panels will be operational, and when the ships take damage, crew members will have to respond to these areas and fix these access panels, hopefully to save the ship so they don't lose it. This is the lift access that we saw downstairs off the catwalk, so we're not going to go back down there, but we will go this way. Now this takes us into another area where there are more access panels. I'm going to step down into here. You can see along this wall here there are access panels in this small area. Some people call this a Jeffries tube. I know we get it from, you know, a Star Trek kind of reference, but I guess we want to say something that's in relation to engineering. But for right now, it's just a maintenance tube or maintenance corridor. Here are 2 more of the escape pods. I mentioned to you that there were 10 altogether on the ship, 6 on deck 2, and then 4 here on deck 3. So this is escape pods 3 and 4, still with the military variant, the green color. And then we're going to work our way back a little further on the ship. More areas for storing, at least we think so. And if we walk around these nacelles, whoa, there's a glitch. Let's see if we're going to fall. Will we fall? Let's see if we can get out of there. Oh no, no falling, please. Okay, let me think about this. How can we get out of this position? I might be glitched out completely, guys. Oh, come on, jump. Let's see if I crouch. Nope. Almost. I think we're going to be glitched out here, guys. There's a bug, huh? Yep. Can't get out of this one. Well, give me a second here, guys. I might have to shut her down and come back in. I'm going to try one more thing here. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to shut it down. Let's see. Yeah, she's glitching. Oh, we made it. Okay, we won't go down that tube, guys. We'll try the one on the opposite side. Let's see if we can do that one. Oh, God, thank God we didn't have to start the broadcast, stop the broadcast. Okay, this area here is engineering, or it leads to engineering, and also to what most of us believe are the gravity unit. This is what maintains the gravity on the ship. If your enemies get in here and shut it down, you'll be fighting and floating at the same time. Interestingly enough, there is a door here that seems like a compression door, which we'll come back to in a minute. Alright, and then I mentioned there's a jump seat there. A little area for cargo or something here for later maybe. And then this is leads into the where the engine is. Nuclear reactor, I guess, some type of reactor that powers the ship. In the video for the Starfarer, we actually see someone standing in this area working. I think it's a female character, in fact. Okay. And then again, here's escape pods 1 and 2 that are on deck 3. We are on deck 3. Okay, let's take a chance on this nacelle, and let's see if hopefully we won't fall through the floor here. Again, another access area you can crawl into to fix things and do maintenance and repair. Will we make it? Yes, we did. Okay, and here is one of the rear turrets. These turrets are similar design to the ones that are on the Retaliator that invert 180 degrees. So you sit down and the seat completely flips upside down. There we go. Upside down view. In fact, we're pointing at the other turret. Oh, but in the Starfarer, these weren't working when we got them. But on the Gemini and the Starfarer, they do work now. So when 2.4 releases live, that'll be a good thing. A lot of folks will be excited about being able to access these. Okay, open our door, and again make our way out. There's a window here where you can see over to the other side. A lot of folks complained about the glass with the scratches and the dullness, but to me it's more realistic. It's not like this, you know, you want to treat a ship like as if it just came off of the assembly line. The feeling is that the ship has been in use, even though it is new for us. So the feelings of a little wear don't bother me. Paint job's not bad, it's not scratched or anything. Okay, let's see, this took us through engineering, so let's go this way. This is another access area, and this one's a little different, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, because this one has the tunnel that you could walk through to crawl through to another side. Okay, so there are jump seats here again, and another door here that leads into that maintenance area that we just looked at with ladders. Okay, and we can cross from the starboard side of the ship to the port side of the ship. And again, these were the elevators that we saw on the lower level that gave us access. These actually take us up to the 4th level, or the 4th floor. Well, let's use one. What the heck, right? Why not? Let's see. Gotta call it down. Is it calling it down or calling it up? I can't remember. I think it's just here. There we go. Okay, so now we are on the 4th level. This is Maintenance Access 3. This is the top level of the ship, and there was a ladder that was in the maintenance corridors that we could have come up from there. Maybe I'll take that going down so you can get an idea of how it's laid out. But Maintenance Access 1 is the other elevator that we saw on the other side, and again this is the one we came up on, 3. And then again, here's another turret. This is the upper turret on the top of the ship toward the front. This one does a 180-degree turn and faces toward the front of the ship. Okay. And it goes down, makes the 180-degree turn again, and we're out. Awesome. Again, this is still the theme of this greenish gray with the military colors. And this would be the sleeping area for the crew, which holds 6 beds. Again, the ship's crewed by 7 if you include the captain. If you have more than that, folks are going to be sleeping on this bench maybe, I don't know. And then we've got a men and a women's restroom area. I don't remember these being chrome before, but maybe they were on the Starfarer. I'll have to go back and look. Locker area and benches. Okay. And then we're hitting actually the final 2 rooms on the ship. First is the galley for the crew. It's been said that eating will be a part of Star Citizen in some form. Nobody knows directly to what point. Chris Roberts has said that it won't be to the point where it's completely mandatory, but there may be some benefits to eating, such as buffing your character or affecting health. So it seems like they keep putting these things for bathrooms and kitchens throughout the game. So hopefully, for me, I think it's great. I think adding that aspect of being aware of your character, and it adds to the immersion. So some futuristic microwaves up here on the wall, cooking area, looks like maybe a garbage disposal. And of course, a table for folks to dine at, eat at. And then lastly, the final area we're going to is the captain's quarters. This is very similar to the Starfarer. Seems to be a little bit more chromed out, but I hate to say it, but I can't remember all this chrome. Maybe it was like this in the Starfarer. But this is the captain's desk. And one thing that is definitely different on the this version, the Gemini versus the Starfarer, is the captain's blanket. Thankfully, they didn't give the combat captain a kitty star-covered blanket. They gave him a UEE official military blanket, which is perfect, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, I love the other blanket, but not for this ship. I don't think that would have been too cool. And so here's the restroom area for washing, towels, things of that nature, toilet, shower, all that good stuff. Pretty much the same. The feel of the ship seems to be pretty much the same. The layout is basically the same. Again, there are some differences in the specs. Whether or not those will hold to what we read on the website, we'll find out in time. So instead of taking one of these 2 elevators down, this time I am going to take the ladder. And this is actually a pretty fast way to get down to the lower decks of the ship. So I'm going to take that ladder, and I'm going to go over here, and there's another ladder. Okay, I'm going to take this one. And now I'm back down in the cargo area. That quick. Yeah, that was pretty fast. Back down the stairs. And we are back on level 1. Okay, let's head back out. Alright, so that was basically the tour of the Starfarer Gemini. This will be going on sale again once it goes back out live. 2.4 goes live. My understanding is that the price for this will be $340. The Starfarer increased in price from $195 to $300 after it launched, and this one will be $340 because of the military variant. Again, as a reminder, when you are getting these ships, don't spend the money because you want to buy the ship unless you just have the money like that. You know, this is a part of sponsoring or supporting or investing in the development of Star Citizen. You can always get any of these ships in-game while playing. You can work your way toward them, which is half the fun. Having all the ships in your hangar in the beginning is going to, take away from a lot of the fun. The reward of being able to accomplish actually getting these ships because you worked for them. But Chris Roberts also said that the closer we get to launch of the game, as ships come out, the prices will go up if the ships have come out previously. And that makes sense. I mean, if you had people who invested 3 years ago and they paid $150 for a ship, Well, you don't want 3 years later people coming on board and paying the same amount of money and getting the same benefits as those people who waited 3 years and were willing to take the risk on the development of this game. So be aware, if you see something you really like and you want to invest, hey, go for it. But otherwise, you know, all you got to pay is 45 bucks. You're in the game and you can work toward getting any of these ships. So again, I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out this afternoon. I hope you learned a little bit about the Starfarer Gemini, and I hope you're interested in Star Citizen. Definitely check out the website, robertsspaceindustries.com, and definitely, if you're not following me, love to have you as a follower. Appreciate you stopping by. And also check my Twitter button, and I usually announce when I'm going to be online through Twitter beforehand, sometimes within 30 minutes, sometimes within 15 minutes. I'm trying to do better with that. But hey, I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. This is Griffin Gaming RPG signing out, and have a good one.